Hello there and welcome back to a Halloween gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free baking video. How are we doing today? Today I'm going to be showing you my recipe for a bat Tanya Burr chocolate cookies. But of course they're going to be gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free. You will be needing the following equipment: some scales, 2 cookie sheets or baking trays, some baking paper, some spray oil, 1 large mixing bowl, a wooden spoon or electric hand whisk, a spatula, an ice cream scoop, a cooling rack, a bat cutout, although this will be really tiny so you can't see it. They can be different sizes, it's basically got to be able to fit on your cookie once it's finished baking. Some scissors, a sieve, a palette knife, and that's all of your equipment, so you will also be needing the following ingredients: 100 grams of butter, softened, I like to use lacto-free butter, 150 grams of caster sugar, half a medium-sized egg beaten, 138 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour, 15 grams of cocoa powder, and some icing sugar for decoration. So, let's go! First things first, measure out and prepare all of your ingredients so that they're completely ready for you to use, and then preheat your oven to 200 degrees C on a conventional oven, 180 degrees C on a fan oven, or gas mark 6. So now that we have preheated our oven, it is now time to prepare our cookie sheets or baking trays. So for this we will be needing our cookie sheets or baking trays, our baking paper and our spray oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my baking paper and measure it to the size of my cookie sheet or baking tray. You can use scissors if you want to, but personally I'm just going to tear this off. So now that you've got your spray oil, we're just going to give our cookie sheet or baking tray just a tiny spritz. Place our baking paper on top, because I find that this really helps to keep the baking paper down while I finish making my mixture. Get out of there, you little tart. There we are. Okay, so now that this is done, repeat this with your other cookie sheet or baking tray and then place these off to the side until we're ready to bake. So now that we've done all that nasty prep work, it is now time to begin actually making our cookies. So for this we will be needing our wooden spoon or electric hand whisk, our large mixing bowl, our spatula, and all of our ingredients except for our icing sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is add all of my butter to my mixing bowl, followed by my caster sugar, and now we're going to mix these together until they are light and fluffy. So now that that is all done, we're going to add all of our egg. And now we're going to mix these together until we have a nice smooth batter. And now that that is done, we are going to add all of our flour and all of our cocoa powder. And now we're going to mix this lot together until they are fully combined. So now that this is all done and smelling absolutely amazing, I'm now going to grab my prepared cookie sheets or baking trays and my ice cream scoop. So now I am just going to simply grab an ice cream scoop full of my mixture, placing it onto my prepared cookie sheet or baking tray, leaving quite a bit of room because they do spread when they're baked. And after I have done that, I'm just going to scrape around the sides of my mixing bowl with my spatula just so I bring all the mixture together. So now we're going to place our cookies into our preheated oven for exactly 11 minutes. After those 11 minutes, we are then going to grab our cooling rack, place our cookies onto the cooling rack, still on their cookie sheet or baking tray for 10 minutes. After those 10 minutes, we're then going to take our cookies off of the cookie sheet or baking tray, placing them back onto the cooling rack to cool completely. They will not look cooked when you take them out of the oven, but don't worry, that's what makes them lovely and chewy. So just leave them as they are. So now that our cookies are out of the oven and have completely finished cooling, it is now time to begin decorating them. So for this we will be needing our sieve, our palette knife, our bat cutouts and our icing sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I've done my bat cutouts in various sizes. You can just do it as one size if you want, or loads of different ones. I've done 4 different sizing, ranging from 8 centimeters down to 4 centimeters, but it's completely up to you. So I'm just going to place some on and see how I get on. Then I am going to, once it gets off my finger, place some icing sugar, not too much, not too little, into my sieve, over my cookie. There we go. Oh, probably a bit more than that. There we go. And I am just going to give this a good coating of icing sugar, which seems to be going everywhere but the cookie. Okay, that's a good coating. There's a little too much in the middle, but I'm going to ignore that. And using my palette knife, you don't have to use a palette knife, I just think that it may be a good idea because I'm not very delicate. I'm going to remove each back cut out. Oh, that's turned out so much better than I thought it would. Hold on. Ah, don't fall, don't fall. That's amazing! Right, I'm so happy with this. So I'm going to repeat this step with the rest of my cookies and I will see you after that. So that is it. This is how it looks at the end of it. This is the first one I did because it's my favourite. So it's got a little bit of drifting down from when there was too much icing sugar in the middle of the cookie. But look how great that is. It has turned out far better than I expected to. And I'm really, really happy and excited to eat these now. So that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description as I love them all and wouldn't put them there if I didn't. Including the recipe for these lovely cookies and the links to all of the flour and equipment you will need for this recipe. If you do make these at home, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag bakingwithvickiie so that I can see all of your lovely creations. Let me know in the comments below of anything else you'd like to see me make gluten, lactose or yeast free, as I do them all. And finally, don't forget to like, leave a nice comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!